In this video, I'm going to show you how I sell $160,000 worth of info products and coaching through one simple funnel. And this one funnel has produced the vast preponderance of the sales that we have made over the last year. And we've made just over about $2 million in sales for our info product and coaching partners. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Gio Joachim. Me and my business partner Jacob, we run an info marketing agency called Amplavert, where we partner up with these companies who sell info products, coaching programs, and so on. And we help them grow and scale by running their operations. And by far, our most high-performing funnel comes down to one. And I'm going to show you what that is today. So without further ado, let's go onto the screen. Let's get to the Miro board. And let's dive into things. So before I tell you exactly what this funnel is, I'm going to walk you through the usual types of funnels that people run to sell coaching and so on and so forth. So we figured this out through a process, right? So there are three main funnels that people use. They use VSL call funnels, which is basically where you have your YouTube channel or your ads or whatever, and you send people to a link where they land on a page where you'll find a call funnel. And it can look something like this, where we have a video, an application form that comes up, a headline, and then testimonials and so on and so forth below. So this is a VSL funnel, right? Very, very common funnel, probably the most common funnel. Another funnel that people use is DM call funnels, where basically, because a VSL will take you from here, then you will apply, then you'll book a call. DM funnels are typically used on platforms where, like Instagram or X or LinkedIn, where you have chat functionality, which obviously you don't have on YouTube or through ads unless you're running DM ads, where you'll have an appointment setter messaging your followers or your leads, and they will go ahead and book them into a call manually, where they will then be met with a salesperson who would then sell them. So that's DM funnels. And then you have sell by chat, where it's basically a DM funnel, but instead of pushing them to book a call, it's you sell them and pitch them directly in the chat. Now, these are the most common funnels that people use, and we have used all of these funnels as well to generate hundreds of thousands, if not millions, online. But there are some cons with these funnels that limit them in a lot of ways, which we have found that made us not want to use them and move towards something more scalable, like the one funnel I'm going to teach you about today. Okay? So the cons with these types of funnels are that usually, especially if you want to operate at scale, they require large sales teams. And large sales teams are an operational nightmare. Even if you have a small sales team of one setter and one closer, or two setters and one closer, or even, a small number of salespeople, it just requires extra operational management, which is just a pain in the ass. Because you need to run the same thing as all the other funnels, and a lot of the systems are the same as the funnel that I'm going to show you today, which is our cash injection funnel. But it just requires managing the setter, following up with them, making sure that they're doing the work. If they're not doing the work, finding out why they're not doing the work, or firing them and hiring another one. It requires a lot more training of these people. It requires constant management. That's why sales managers exist, right? So you need the salespeople who require a lot of commission, and then you have the sales managers. Also, not to mention the commission. A setter usually takes 5%. A salesperson takes 10%. You're off 15% of your margins just off your sales team alone. The second thing is that salespeople are notoriously unpredictable. Good salespeople usually aren't, but salespeople are human beings, and human beings have things that come up in their lives, right? So you'll have, your girlfriend will fight with you or break up with you, or you'll be having, personal issues, family issues. And so 1 month, the salespeople can, and this is something we've struggled with, and we've found this by actual experience, is salespeople can be very, very good and be performing very well. And then the next month, or there could be a week where they just fall off the grid and they go through a slump, which is really quite difficult to deal with, because if you have, hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line and your salesperson's messing up because they're going through some personal troubles, you're not going to be very happy, are you? So sales teams are an operational nightmare, and then salespeople are also unpredictable. And the other thing is that salespeople churn. You'll either fire your salespeople, your setters and your closers, or if you're not going to fire them, they will leave at some point. You'll need to hire a new one. So the point is that if you run a large sales team, you'll be constantly hiring salespeople. Now that can be a lot of work, because you need to be constantly recruiting, you need to be constantly interviewing, you need to be constantly, you need to have a good good kind of training process, getting them onboarded. When they ramp up, when they initially get into the team, they're not going to be as good, so you need to ramp them up. So effectively, most of these common funnels that require sales teams, and that comes with these downsides. Large sales teams are kind of operational nightmare. Sales people are unpredictable, and sales people churn. That is no bueno. We do not like these things, and they can seriously hurt our growth. And also, sales teams lower profit margins. So the question is okay, if we're not running these funnels, which are, and by the way, they do work. I'm not saying that they don't. They work fantastically well. We've generated a lot of money with them, and they've generated billions of dollars in the space. So I'm not saying that they don't work, but they have these cons. And also as well is it can be hard to a certain point to scale your sales team further, right? So the question then becomes is, what is a better funnel? What is a better way? And this comes down to this one funnel that we've shown you. And this funnel has been our bread and butter after years of testing, and it has been responsible for helping us generate over $2 million online. It's been responsible for helping us win the school games and going to meet Alex Hormozi because we grew one of our clients the fastest. So this funnel has helped us a lot. Okay, and here it is. It's the cash injection funnel. Now, our cash injection funnel uses, instead of sales teams to do the closing, it uses live events. Okay, so live sales events, such as webinars or challenge funnels, but typically webinars, where you as the creator, you as the owner of the product, who is the most convincing person in the whole business to be able to sell it, goes in front of your audience and sells what you have to do with a live presentation. Now, in the live presentation, you host it as a live class and create a lot of value for your audience, which builds a lot of trust. You are the one selling to your audience, which is far more engaging than having some random person that you just hired doing the selling. And so you can get a large number of people to join because it's a high trust. When people join because they bought from you and they weren't pressured into buying because they're not on a one-on-one sales call, but they're on a group live event, they usually stay for longer as well because it is a more kind of voluntary decision. So the pros of the cash injection funnel are that it increases trust, is that it increases scale, because on one, let's say, Zoom webinar, there's no cap. You just have to pay more for the cap limit on the software, but there's no cap, right? You can have as many people as you want. If you want to get 1,000 calls in, 1,000 sales calls into your business, you need a lot of salespeople to manage that volume. So scale, profitability as well, because you're not paying for salespeople, so you keep that extra 15%. And as well, it's more predictable. If you have a presentation, a sales presentation that works, that your audience has in the past bought from and for, as your audience grows and you get more people to that same presentation, you can expect the same result. You're not relying on other people to do your selling. You're not relying on other people to be unpredictable. You're relying on yourself. And you're relying on yourself and your knowledge of the business, your knowledge of your audience to go ahead and sell them in. And the beauty of it as well is that you're not constantly selling. You're not constantly grinding for clients. If you run webinars correctly, and you do them once a month or once every 2 weeks, depending on how big your audience is, then you spend most of your time generating demand, generating hype, and then you have one big event where you sell a bunch of people in, and then you're chilling for the rest of the month because you made a lot of money. Now, how do we run a cash injection funnel? How does it work, right? And I've already told you that this is the funnel that's made us or helped us generate millions of dollars online in the last year. So how does it work? So typically, if you're watching this and you're a coach or you run an info business, or you're a consultant, or even if you're a service provider to an extent, you may have an audience. If you don't have an audience, you can also run ads. So that is something to mention. But effectively what you do is you have traffic. So either you'll have a YouTube channel, you run Google ads. This works as well if you have an Instagram channel, or you run Meta ads, for example. And what you want to do is you want to drive people to a specific page. So you want to drive people to a landing page where they can then sign up for this live event, because we've already said, what is the cash injection funnel? It is basically a time to inject your business with cash with a large amount of viewers who come to an event. You teach them something and then you sell them something off the back end. Okay, so you have your landing page where people come. Your landing page can look something like this, where you have an image. This is one that we ran for our clients, and it made 30K in a single hour. So you have a headline, an image, some scarcity, and then save your seat. You want to keep these really, really simple. You don't want to add a video or anything like that, because if you're running a free event, you want to lower the amount of friction it takes for someone to sign up to that event. If you have a video, you'll see a lot of people avoiding watching the video and just not signing up. Case studies to show why you work and why they should sign up, and then just some social proof to get them to join, right? So we get them to the landing page, and then we get them to opt in. When you opt in, we have some kind of best practices that we run on the application kind of form, but effectively you want to get them to opt in, and then you can ask them a couple questions to get an idea of why they're joining. This will allow you to have really good follow-up. This will allow you as well to get some data on your audience to make sure you're getting the right people through. So you can ask them how much they make, you can ask them kind of what they're hoping to learn, and what kind of business they run. Then people go to an application, and then they go to a confirmation page. Now, the thing you have to understand is the key metrics around running a cash injection funnel. There's a few main metrics that you need to ensure that you have to have a successful funnel, successful launch, or a successful iteration of the cash injection funnel. The first, very simply, is how many people sign up. So that is the top of the funnel. The bigger the top of the funnel is, the more people sign up, the bigger the bottom of the funnel is going to be. Even if you do other things wrong, you have a higher likelihood of success. So number one is sign up rate. How many people are signing up for the event? The second is how many people show up, right? So if you get 1,000 people to sign up, but then only 200 people to show up, that's not a very good show up rate. That's only 20%. And now you've cut off a large amount of people that have shown interest. And so you now have a lower likelihood of making a lot of money. So show up rate, you really want to aim for about 30 to 50%. So out of 1,000 people, you want between 30 and kind of 500 to show up. That's really good, 50%, especially on a free event. Then you have basically your retention rate. So how many people stay till the end till the pitch, right? So if you're doing an hour and a half class, you do the hour and a half or the hour, and then the last 30 minutes is pitch and Q&A. If you can retain most of those people, then you're doing a good job. And then finally, you have your conversion rate, okay? So those are the 5 key metrics. The reason this funnel is so great is because it's relatively simple. If you run the cash injection funnel, and then you can assess where the bottleneck is. Is it that you didn't get enough people in? And you know that if all the other metrics look good, and then maybe it just was total volume, you didn't get enough people to come. Then you can see, okay, if you got a lot of people, but not a lot of people showed up, that's the bottleneck. If you know that a lot of people signed up, a lot of people showed up, but no one bought, then maybe there's something to do with the pitch. Maybe your offer is bad. And then you can test these and have good data to iterate from, okay? So once they go to the confirmation page, they go to the live event. And a live event is usually relatively straightforward. Now, you can very easily mess it up. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason people hire us and pay us a lot of money to do so. But usually it comes down to a few things. So it comes down to an interesting topic that people are actually interested in. So you can't just run any old live event. It needs to be a really good thing that will get people to sign up and show up. People are busy, don't forget. People are really freaking busy, and they're not just going to show up for a measly live event. If the topic is good and it's something that people care about, they'll come. So when people come, you start off by basically just getting them engaged, and then you want to tell them a bit about your story so that people who are newer, especially if they're coming through cold traffic like ads, you want to make sure that people know who you are and they have a reason to trust you, because to sell anything, people need to know, like, and trust you. If they don't know, like, and trust you, then there's no point. Forget about it. They're not going to buy. They need to see you as an authority of having something that they want so that they will buy it from you. Then you will go through some value. You'll teach them some stuff. So you'll teach them usually 3 main pillars. And the importance about a cash injection funnel is you're not giving them a 100-step blueprint that they will then follow, that they can basically go ahead and implement. You don't want to give them all the sauce, because then why would they buy your stuff? But what you want to give them is you want to break some beliefs. You want to show them what to do, but not exactly how to do it. You want to tell them, for example, if it's an agency offer and you're teaching people how to make money online, and one of the main things is how to get clients, and you teach that by outreach, you want to show them how to do outreach, or rather, you want to show them what to do, and you tell them that they need to do outreach and maybe what platforms to use and things like that. But you don't want to show them exactly what to say in the messages. Maybe you give them an idea, a template, but you don't want to show them exactly what to say, because you want to give them the concepts and the principles, and then you want to position your product at the end as the solution, basically, as the implementation. Okay? So give them as much value as you can, educate them on, break some beliefs, show them that it is possible, overcome the objections that they may have, and then you can position yourself at the end as the expert and the product as the solution. Then you typically can go, unless you're selling really high ticket, you go direct to checkout. So by this point, when you get to the pitch, I've reviewed pitch in other videos, so you can go check past videos to see complete breakdowns where I've reviewed the pitch. But what you want to do on the direct to checkout is you want to make sure that so what some people do, I should explain this. What some people do is there's two ways of selling on a webinar. You can either send people to book a call where they will then buy, or you send them direct to checkout where they get there, you send them to a payment page and then they buy. What you need to make sure you do is you need to carefully articulate what they get, what the value is, and then you need to overcome their objections. Because usually people aren't just going to buy, without any hesitation. But you need to overcome their objections. You need to show them that the value of what you're selling is greater than the price of the program. So if you're selling a $3,000 program, you really want to be sure that the outcome of what they'll get by working with you is not only much greater than $3,000, but also that they're likely to achieve it. So throughout the entire time, you really want to make sure that you're layering the whole presentation with proof. You want to show people that what you're teaching them in the class has worked for other people. So the 3 pillars of value that you're teaching them, you then want to support them with different and fresh case studies that you've helped other people do, so they know that it will work for them as well if they take the bait, or if they actually buy. And then from direct to checkout, you will get the close. But this is a far more scalable funnel than call funnels, because it doesn't require you to hire countless appointment setters that will call up the leads when they apply and to make sure that they book, and then countless closers who are unpredictable and are a nightmare to manage and train and everything, because this relies on you. It relies on a 1-hour presentation that you're running once a month or once every 2 weeks. It's 1 hour of your time, and you make the bulk of your revenue. You keep 15% of your margins. You don't have to worry about unpredictable salespeople and constantly hiring new ones and training new ones. It is very predictable. And it's also a very good way of taking cold traffic, especially when trust is low in the market, and selling them into your programs by teaching them something first, as opposed to just expecting them to get on a call where they will then buy from you. So that is the funnel that has helped us generate over $160,000 a month for the last 1.5 years for our clients. And it is this cash injection funnel. It is a webinar funnel, a live event funnel, whatever you want to call it. We coined it the cash injection funnel because you are injecting cash into your business. And the beauty of this as well, as a bonus tip, is also the fact that you can run this alongside other funnels, like the core funnel as well, because it's just a different medium of selling people. So it doesn't interfere with your existing funnels really at all. So I hope this was valuable to you. If you want us to run this for you, you simply click in the top link in the description. You can book a call with myself where I will speak to you and learn more about your business. And if I think that me and my team can help you inject some cash into your business using the cash injection funnel, that we will go over the numbers and we'll make you an offer, and then we'll make some money together. If that doesn't sound good, then watch some other videos and we'll help you there. But other than that, we'll speak soon. Take care. See you on the next one. Peace.